Hello students, hope you all are doing fine. And today I'm going to discuss with you a topic of economics, ICAC 11th standard. I am referring to economic book that is published by Frank, and you also can refer to the same or the book prescribed by your institution. So I'll be taking up the topic that discusses the microeconomic theory or the price theory. It deals with microeconomics. That is, we deal with how the pricing of a single product is determined. Okay. So let's begin our session. I will share the screen with you. Hope you are able to view the PPT properly. Okay. So yes, we are discussing economic subject today, and the name of the chapter is Demand and Law of Demand. This is the second chapter in your textbook. So students, when we are learning economics or when we discuss economics, we come across these terms very often. That is, one is needs and wants. So if I am not clear about what are my needs and what are my wants, I will not be able to study the next topic, right? So first let us go back and understand what are our needs. So students, what are your needs? So needs are the basic human requirements needed for human survival. I'll try to make it simple for you. Whenever we ask anybody, what are your needs or a human needs, the person would say food, water, clothing, shelter, air, right? Apart from this basic needs, there are certain needs that help your psychology, right? So those needs are your entertainment, your education needs, and the last need is your being loved, right? Being accepted in the society is also one of your needs for human survival, right? So if I say basic needs, I can say food, water, air, clothing, and shelter, right? The diagram also represents the same. Move on to the next slide. So if these are the needs, right? What are the wants? We say wants are unlimited, but what are these wants? Okay, so see the diagram, see the picture. It shows you pets. It is showing you a car, candy, toys. So what are these? Do you actually need them for your survival, or you just need them to satisfy your need? Exactly. So wants are nothing but some things that you would like to have, but they do not do. You don't need them for your survival. Fine. Let us take an example to make it more simple. We said food is the basic need, right? Now food means what? I can say I'm happy with dal and rice also, right? But when I'm hungry, I might say, I want a burger, I want a pizza, I need pasta. Yes, so pizza, burger, and pasta are not needed for my survival as such. I can do with dal rice. But at some point of time, I may also want to have them. So, did you get the basic difference between needs and wants? Needs are important for your survival, whereas wants are something that you may require, but it is not important for your survival. Let's see the explanation here. So, want is something that you would like to have, but don't need it to survive. Back by an example, we need food, so dal rice, right? So, it should be sufficient. But at one point, when we are hungry, we may want to eat pizza, burger, Or we may even want a full thali. Say the thali should have chapatis, dal, rice, vegetables, salads. Now, all these things are not required for your survival. Only dal, rice is sufficient, or only one food is sufficient. But still, we might want to have. So, there is a basic difference between needs and wants. Now, if I say wants and needs are different, what is demand? Right? We come to our topic now, and that is demand. So if I say needs and wants are different, so what is demand? Because if in Hindi, if you see, all the three words mean the same. Need, wants और demand mean the same. जरूरत, ये हमारी जरूरतें हैं. But what in economics? We are studying demand in economics. So how we will define or how we will understand demand in terms of economics? Let's go. So now, if I substitute the word want with desire, let's see what happens. Okay? Understand this example. I say, I have a desire to buy a branded shirt. Okay? Understand? I say, I desire to buy a branded shirt. So shop A is selling the shirt at rupees 500. Understand? Shop A is selling the shirt at rupees 500, whereas shop B is selling the same branded shirt at rupees 800. What do you think, children? Where should I go and buy this shirt? Right. This shirt I should go and buy where I am getting this branded shirt for rupees 500. That is, I should go to shop A to buy this shirt because I am utilizing my money in a very judicial way, right? I say I have 1,000 rupees. So now what should I do? I should still continue with shop A or should I go to shop B? Very wise. I should be going only to shop A to buy this branded shirt. One. So note down. One, I have the desire, right? I say I have the desire to buy a branded shirt. So our first point is desire. Second, I am willing to purchase, right? I am willing to purchase this shirt if I'm getting it at 500. Understand it carefully. First thing, I have the desire to buy. Second thing, I am willing to buy this shirt if I'm getting it at rupees 500, right? And as I have 1,000 rupees with me, I have ability to pay for this branded shirt. What do I have? I have the ability to pay for this branded shirt. So if I club all these three things together, that is desire plus the willingness to purchase plus the ability to pay, right? If I am putting it all together, that is the desire, willingness, and the ability to pay, it is termed as demand. So if tomorrow anybody asks you as a student of economics, what is demand? You don't go and say, it's just a need, it's just a want. No, all these three terms are used interchangeably in daily spoken life, but are very different in economics, right? If anybody goes and asks you, what is a demand? You have to say, desire. Demand is nothing but the desire to purchase, willingness to purchase is at that price, and then the ability to pay, right? I may say, I demand to have or I desire to have an aeroplane. Yes, I can say that. It's my demand, it's my want. I desire to purchase an aeroplane. But do I have the willingness? Yes, I have the willingness to purchase. But do I have the ability to pay? No. Right now, I don't have the ability to pay to buy an aeroplane. So even if one of the variable is missing, it will not be applicable to demand. It is not demand. See, I have the desire, I have the willingness, but I don't have the ability to pay. Then it is not demand, right? It's just my want. So understand the difference between need, want, and demand. So demand is nothing but the sum total of your desire, your capacity, that is your ability to pay, and your readiness, that is your willingness to buy, right? I can say Bill Gates. We all know Bill Gates. Yes, I can say Bill Gates has the capacity to buy a Mercedes. But Bill Gates says he doesn't want to buy a Mercedes. So will that constitute a demand now? Looking at the meaning? Very true. No. Why? Because there is ability to pay, but there is no willingness to buy. So it is not demand. Let's move on to the meaning of demand. So meaning of demand as given in your textbook is demand for a commodity refers to the quantities of a commodity. Demand for a commodity refers to the quantity of a commodity which the consumers are willing to and able to purchase at various possible prices during a particular period of time, right? So see what I have given in a different picture, a different color to you, right? We just learned that demand is the sum total of desire plus willingness plus the ability to pay. And the same thing has been put up in your textbooks as under the meaning of demand, right? So demand for a commodity refers to the quantity of a commodity which consumers are willing to and able to purchase at various possible prices during a particular period of time. Now, it has two aspects. One aspect is the price, right? One aspect is the price. Second aspect, the meaning is talking about is the time period. The time period. Now say I went to buy bhindi in the vegetable market. Okay. So when I say this, are you not able to view me? Okay. So when I go to buy vegetables in the vegetable market, say I may want bhindi, right? So what do I do? Or what do the market vendor do? A market vendor might sell the bhindi at rupees 30 in the morning. Okay, 1 kilo bhindi at rupees 30 in the morning probably. But the same bhindi in the peak hours, say during evening, the same vendor might sell it for rupees 40 per kg instead of 30 per kg. Now the bhindi is sold for 40 per kg. So at that time, if I am buying it in the morning, say I buy it at 30, or if I'm buying it at evening, so I'm buying it at 40. So the demand for a product varies according to the price and the time, right? Even seasonal products. Yes, AC. AC will have more demand in summer season. So I might say that the requirement of AC is more in the month of May, right? So I can even say that the demand for AC in the month of April is less compared to the month of May. Am I referring to different time periods here? Yes. So the demand varies along with price and also along with the time period, right? So what did we learn? That demand for a commodity refers to the quantity of a commodity which the consumers are, in the inverted comma, willing to and able to purchase at various possible prices during a particular period of time. Am I clear up till here? Right. So let's move on to the definition of demand. This is not given in the textbook, but you can also write it in your answer papers, which will fetch you little more marks. So let us understand what is the definition of demand. So according to Benham, the demand for anything at a given prices is the amount of it which will be bought per unit of time at that price. Now, what does it simply mean is that the per unit of the commodity which is bought at a particular price, right? Say I'm buying a shirt at rupees 500, so that 500 becomes the amount of the price, the amount of that commodity, right? And it is bought at a particular time period for a particular price. Say if the same shirt is priced at 800, I am not willing to buy. Although I have the capacity, I am still not willing to buy. So, for the definition of demand to hold true, we can say the demand for anything at a given price is the amount of it. 500 is the amount of it, which will be bought per unit. I'm buying one shirt for rupees 500 at that price, at rupees 500. I am willing to buy it at 500 and I'm paying it at 500, right? Let's move on to the next topic. Yes. So when I study demand in relation to economics, I study it with reference of price. Yes, if the price is low, right, the shirt that I wanted to buy was for 500 rupees and also available at 800 rupees. But I chose to buy it at 500. So can I say as a consumer, I am ready to buy, or my demand will be more if the price for a commodity is less, right? Say for example, I am the consumer and I consume onions, right? So if onions today are sold at rupees 40 per kg, but at the same time, I can say that I'm willing to buy it at 40 and I'm able to pay it at 40. That's my demand, the consumer demands. But tomorrow, if due to some reason, the onion prices rise to say 60 rupees per kg. So am I ready to buy? No. Probably I will wait until the prices come down to 40 again. So always demand is studied with reference to price, my ability to pay as a consumer. When you're studying demand, think you all are the consumers of the product, right? So think that I will buy when the prices are less, when I have the ability to pay, when I have the willingness to purchase, when I have the right time period. You should also think whether it's the right time to buy. Say I buy raincoats in the month of December. Will it be a right time? No. So the time to purchase should be appropriate, right? So hope you have understood this session and hope you have understood the concept of demand. Whenever you're studying demand, you should study it with reference to desire, willingness, and ability to pay. And also, although these terms can be used interchangeably, in economics, these terms have different meanings and definitions. Please do understand the meaning and definition of each term. That is, needs is required for the human survival. You cannot survive without these things. Wants are, you might want to have it, but you can survive without it as well. And demand is when you have the desire plus the willingness to purchase and plus the ability to pay. Even if one variable is missing, it won't be termed as demand. Yes, thank you for now, and we will continue with the session. Hope you have enjoyed and hope you have understood the session well. Thank you.